अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, दिस इज सादिया शेख। हम फिर हाजिर हैं आज हर थर्सडे की तरह एक न्यू एपिसोड के साथ और एक न्यू गेस्ट के साथ। Today also we have an international guest. So let's first of all introduce herself. That is Alina Ipanova, and she is wonderful coach, cultural and intelligence expert. Before diving into into this topic, let's welcome her first. And hi, Alina. How are you? Thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. How are you doing?
Hello, Sadia. Assalamu alaikum. I'm good. Thank you so much and very grateful for the opportunity to be here with you today.
Yeah, we are scheduling from so many days, but now it's finally happening. I'm so excited for this.
Yes, the same here.
So,
Let's have a valuable conversation.
yeah, hopefully, Alina. Before we go into this topic, uh, give, give me a insight about who are you beyond your title. What experiences shaped your interest in culture?
This is a very good question. I always refer to myself as a curious mind, a curious traveler, because
All
with my
right.
family, we live in a different country every year. So currently, we are in Malaysia. So I'm connecting from Kuala Lumpur today. And
Oh,
before
it's a
that, we
wonderful.
lived,
I have
yeah.
been there. It's a wonderful place.
So this is something that is also connected to the work that I do, but this is actually a lifestyle that I live. So I work a lot with cultures, with leadership, and this is my everyday experience as well. So it comes way before any titles or any expertise.
How you chose that topic? I wanted to work with this thing. So, like, when we become a coach, we have to decide, no, in which area we want to work and how that happened.
It happened step by step, and when I look back, I see the full picture. But when I was in the process, it was just following something that interested me. I had always interest for people. I remember myself as a teenager, and my friends would come to me, they would ask for advice, or they would share a tricky situation, and we would discuss. And then it drew me to psychology. So I studied psychology and I worked with different teams. And when I started working internationally, I realized that there's so much more to psychology, and culture might influence our behavior. And if we don't know how things work for different cultures, then we might miss on the opportunities, on connection, building rapport. So it brought me to coaching, and it also brought me to cultural studies. So now I'm combining all of them: psychology, coaching, and cultural intelligence.
Wow, amazing. Seems interesting. Okay, for someone, I know many people who are listening to for the first time or hearing this term for the very first time. How would you explain to them cultural intelligence in simple words?
So, in simple words, it's actually about people, different people, because usually people think about national cultures, but I want to break this stereotype because national culture definitely influences how we behave, and it's worth understanding culture as a system. But then we all have personal culture, what shaped us. Like your first question today, about my lifestyle, about my hobbies, about other interests. So this all shapes who we are. So I would put it in a way that cultural intelligence is more about your ability to relate to people who are different from you, who think differently, who behave differently, sometimes based on their culture, what they consider normal. Sometimes it's rather shaped by their experience. So, in general, just working well together with different people, seeing the situation from their perspective. So, this is what cultural intelligence is about.
All right. Okay, so how it is different from emotional intelligence?
Oh, I love this question. So, emotional intelligence, something which is very close to my heart as well. But with emotions, it's interesting that we have some universal emotions like happiness, anger, sadness, and research shows us that we also express those emotions. We have similar facial expressions. But then culture influences how we express those emotions or how we hide those emotions. So, for instance, anger in one culture might be expressed with loud voice, expressive body language, and in another culture, it might be just a subtle smile and no body language at all. So if we don't know the differences, we might misinterpret behaviors. And the misinterpreted behavior will inform our actions. So we choose how to respond based on how we understand the situation. So if we misunderstood, then our response won't be the best possible. So for me, cultural intelligence is the next level of emotional intelligence. You understand emotions and you also understand how culture impacts the way we express ourselves or we withdraw ourselves or hide our reactions and emotions. So as a coach, you can ask better questions when you notice those cues,
Mhm.
those cultural
Yeah.
differences.
True. It seems like very interesting when people like we start understanding this. Na things become more easier. I think around everyone.
Yeah, definitely. It all comes to understanding, right? The better we understand ourselves and others, more connection we have, and it's productive for collaboration, for the outcomes also.
Yeah. Okay. What is the biggest misconception leaders have about working across cultures?
Oh, there are so many. So
I know.
I'll share one. I'll share one. Yes,
Yeah.
there are lots of conversations about diversity, and now,
Mm-hmm.
especially after pandemic, the world became more open for remote work, for hybrid work. So we have global teams working together, and the biggest misconception that I see in companies that they really love diversity, they want to be diverse, and
Yeah.
they diversify based on mostly on visual principles, geography, nationalities, ethnicity, all those things, missing the layer of cognitive diversity. And they also think that if they bring different people together, the project will be successful or the work will be more innovative. And what they misunderstand is that diversity is just an opportunity. It's an opportunity either for success or for failure. So if you don't work with this intentionally, you will most probably fail. You have to bring people to the same page because they're used to different things, to different leadership style, different communication style, different work style. Some are more individualistic, others are more collectivistic. So when you bring them all together, they don't see the world from each other's perspective, it becomes difficult. They might use the same words, but the meaning that they imply
Hard.
might be different.
Different. So true. So true. I think in the okay, many leaders assume speaking English fluently is enough to work globally. Why is that a myth?
Um, Pardon me, what was the last part of the question?
Okay, why is that a myth or it's true? I'm asking that thing.
About English, whether it's enough.
Yeah, like fluently is work enough to work globally, na? Enough to work globally. So is it that true or it's a myth?
on the like functional perspective, like it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
things work, right? So on the level of the tasks, it makes
Mm-hmm.
things work. But then also English might be second language, third language, or fourth language for people. And even though they use the same language in a practical
Mm-hmm.
way, even if their level is good, then the meaning that they imply might be different. And the picture of the world that they have might be different, even though they're using the same language.
Their perspective, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what are some common cultural blind spots even experienced leaders struggle with?
Okay, I'll share a couple of them, or maybe three. Some things that you can actually pay attention right away, like for the practical sake of it, and do something about it, kind of spotting the gaps. So first thing is communication, the way we communicate. And when I ask people I work with, what's the most important in teamwork, for example, they all say communication. And then when I ask the next question, what kind of communication? They have clear communication. So there should be clarity. And when I ask, what does it mean to you to have clear communication? And then we get all the spectrum of answers, like very different answers, what it means. And in general, if to speak about communication, imagine the scale. So on this side of the scale, we have very direct communication. I say what I mean. So I'm just straightforward. And on the other side, we have indirect communication, something where you're maybe soften, you try to maintain harmony, you will not challenge someone on a higher position, or you will not deliver tough news like directly. You want to really soften that. So there are two extremes. And when people work together and they have these different communication styles, they might misinterpret each other. Those who is very direct can be taken as very rude, too straightforward. And the one who is more indirect, who is sharing lots of context before diving to the main point, might be seen as someone who doesn't get to the point. So just talking a lot about something without getting it straight. So they misinterpret each other. And then the biggest misinterpretation or the biggest misunderstanding happens when we have several people from this like indirect cultures, but they grew up in different cultural realities. So they all talk, we say high context or indirect communication. You are supposed to read between the lines, but their realities are a little bit different. So the biggest misunderstanding is happening there. So for this, people need to understand what's their dominant style and how it shifts in conflict, how it shifts when there are some sensitive news or they are delivering feedback. So knowing this already at least points out where you might have potential gaps and will help you with the help of coaching to bridge those gaps, to adjust your communication. So that would be one of the biggest aspects to work on.
Yeah. I think men think is to understand their leadership style, right? I think you want to convey this since starting care. You have to understand your leadership style, and then you can work on it. So many things like resolve around it if you know that style, and right. I'm getting it wrong.
It's totally right, because you have to start with yourself. And many people come to me and they say, oh, I need to manage others better, or I need to lead my team better. I have a global team. But then the starting point is not them. The starting point is you, how you are as a leader, how you need to adapt your leadership style to help people work better together. And then the results, the KPIs will come as a side effect. So the focus is actually on you, your development, and the impact that you have on others.
Amazing. Okay, so do you believe cultural intelligence can change not just leadership but a person's worldview?
I do believe that it can expand it. And expansion is something that, for example, I travel a lot and it
Hmm.
gives me perspective. Yes, I try to integrate to local communities, and the same could be done in organizations. Like we have different departments, and usually what I see
Hmm.
in the organizations, designers are with designers, HR is separately, and then we have sales and we have marketing team, and they
Okay.
are all separate, like working separately. So the same about expansion here in organizational culture. How much are you curious about other people, their perspective? So the more conversations you have with people, I would say think about people who are very different from you, people who might trigger something, or you feel like, I don't feel comfortable with this person, their style is not
Hmm.
exactly like what I used to. And this is an opportunity for you to explore what is there that is so different, and how can I really understand this person better, how we could work together better. So this could be a good start. And regarding this, cultural intelligence helps to expand this comfort zone and your perspective. It gives you some food for thought from people who might challenge you or who might be different from you. So this is ultimately what we want for our growth as well.
Oh, if someone wants to start developing cultural intelligence today, what are three practical steps they can take?
Okay, this is, I love the questions that you ask. So the first step is definitely know yourself. So you
Mhm.
need to
Okay.
understand your communication style, your leadership style. So reflect on it yourself. How do you think you show up? What are the tendencies and the patterns that you project? And this is also something that you can explore in a coaching conversation, or in my practice, for example, I use specific assessments that helps open up this area and look at your own data. So to me, it's important to look at data. And then the second step would be to actually check in with your environment, because you might see yourself in this way, but people you work with, or your family, or your friends, they might see different sides of you. So in this regard, it's good to ask for feedback. It's good to ask how you actually show up for others, how they see you. And it will give you a better understanding of yourself, and maybe to some extent, it might boost your confidence or self esteem, because they might show you the sides of you that you are blind to. And they can also pinpoint the areas for you for your growth. And then when you have those perspectives, you can start reflecting on how you can bridge the gaps. What are the gaps there? And cultural intelligence can help you here as well. So we call it cultural intelligence because there is no better term. And I know that people are misinterpreting it in terms of national cultures. Speaking about national cultures, when they hear culture, it's either national or organizational culture. So I would actually call it something like human intelligence when it comes to cultural intelligence. So getting perspective and being able to relate to other people. So that would be the ultimate goal in this journey. And there are different methods and different strategies depending on where you are that can help you. So I see coaching as a great tool to navigate this developmental journey.
Amazing. I think the first step is to start with yourself, and I think it's work everywhere, right? मतलब where like in whenever you start understanding yourself, things like a it's just making a way to like you start resolving things for others too, but it's all starts from yourself, in every, like in your personal coaching, in every area of your life, if you want to work on, right?
Yes, that's correct. And this is the hardest job actually to
uh,
do. But as soon as you step in, you will notice how things start shifting around you as well.
and it's never stop. You never know yourself, it's never stop. You have to, like, every day is it's coming with a new awareness, because you never know yourself 100% ever, I believe. Well, it's so much.
Yeah, I can relate to that. And that's why I believe it's important to work on it intentionally in terms of expansion and seeing it when you're under pressure, how you behave, when you're in stress, examining your default behaviors. Because this
Mhm.
is a good starting point, because this is the muscle that you can train. When you know that your default reaction is something that doesn't serve you well, then you put attention there and you rewire your brain and you adopt new behaviors that are actually more productive. So you choose how to respond instead of being reactive. And this is a continuous journey, because every time I see it in myself, I see it in my clients as well. Every time when you feel like, okay, now I got it, it really works, I got it. And then life shows you that
It's
there's still so much more to learn. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
always. I
journey.
guess sometimes even you feel, yeah, now you are emotional, like regulated now, like you know how to work on it, but still something happen and you have to start from zero. Like,
Yeah.
you think, yeah.
It's it's also, maybe one of the common expectations that I see people have when they start this intentional journey, that, oh, I want to develop cultural intelligence, I want to work better with others, that they say, I want to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts. So it's like a prevention work. But I always tell that you will have, regardless of your training, you will have misunderstandings, you will have conflicts. It's impossible to avoid, because it's gonna
Hmm.
happen. But what changes is how you navigate them. We will still experience tough situations, difficult conversations, some situations where you don't know what to do or you are frustrated. So, what we can do is to learn how to navigate better, to develop flexibility. And this should be the goal, not to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts, but to improve your navigation.
True. Life happened, and like a team, so in organization, things happen. You can't learn it all things together. You have to, like, have to take step by step, and to understand yourself better and your teams better, and work on themselves. Like, enjoy the process. I really love this term. Enjoy. You have to enjoy the process wherever you are, because you never have it all. Maybe we can say that.
Yeah, it's important to take it as a journey and as
Yeah.
a long-term game, and to follow
Yeah.
your progress as well.
Yes. Okay, how can entrepreneurs, coaches, or therapists working internationally benefit from that skill?
So, how they benefit in a nutshell, they just have
Yeah.
smoother collaboration, because we all know now there are so many reorganizations, so many changes, so much uncertainty. So, I would say that cultural intelligence on the level of connection, like people understanding each other, understanding themselves, and understanding each other better, it makes everything else work. So we might have different structures that are great. We might have strategy, vision, We might teach people different feedback models. But if there's no foundation, and to me, cultural intelligence or human intelligence is the foundation. How you can connect with others, how you can understand others, exactly this will make everything else work. And what I see now with many organizations in transformation phase or organizational change, they have so many challenges because this stress shows that there's no psychological safety. People are disengaged, they are uncertain, and they react to uncertainty. That it's lots of negative thinking, lots of judgment. And to me, it's a sign that the foundation that they were supposed to work on is missing. So that's why cultural intelligence is important. It's not like a nice to have skill because we work internationally.
Yeah.
On the foundational level, this is what makes everything else work. So I would treat it this way.
Okay, well, you think this is an important skill to learn, must like a must learn.
It is, because it also improves all the processes in terms of communication, in terms of your leadership, in terms of feedback, how you give feedback and how you receive feedback. When you're able to apply cultural lens and human understanding there, it will just make it work much better.
Amazing. Okay, Alina, now we move into our quick cultural intelligence rapid fire round. You ready for it?
Oh, let's do it.
All right. Okay, direct communication or indirect communication?
Direct communication. For me, I'm
Okay.
sharing my preferences.
Hierarchy or flat structure?
Flat structure.
Culture shock, growth or stress?
It's the same in this context, actually. There should be a little bit of stress for the growth.
Okay. One word that defines a culturally intelligent leader.
I think care and ability to listen and observe first before jumping into conversation.
Amazing. A cultural habit you had to unlearn.
Unlearn. I think it's some of the assumptions based on my culture scope. Like when I hear loud voices, for example, because I experienced very hierarchical leadership in the culture I come from. And to me, it's a sign of like authority or something pushing from the top. But working interculturally, I see that it's actually not.
Okay. Okay. Most misunderstood culture in global business.
Most misunderstood. I would say Japan and India.
Okay. Tea or coffee during cross-cultural negotiations?
Do you what?
Tea or coffee during cross-cultural negotiations?
Oh, it depends where you are. Like in Sweden, it has to be coffee. It has to
All
be.
right. Okay. One country that surprised you the most.
Surprised me the most. Japan.
Okay. Global leadership in one sentence.
It's your ability to connect with people who think and behave differently.
Okay. One last question. If cultural intelligence were a muscle, what strengthened it the most?
Oh, heavy lifting. I do lots of sport. So you
All
have
right.
to lift your weights. And I wrote a post about it that you can't fake it in the gym. Why do you
True.
think you fake it in leadership? Yeah, you can't get stronger in the gym if you
Yeah.
fake it. So treat your leadership journey the same way. You don't fake it.
Amazing. Oh wow, what a rapid fire round. Alina, I have enjoyed it. Okay. Okay. Before ending this conversation, if you could leave our audience with one mindset shift about leading and collaborating across cultures, what would it be?
So, definitely one of my favorite quotes is that the quality of your life is in direct proportion with the quality of your relationships with yourself and with others. And this is something that gives you more fulfillment and joy if you work on it. So, think about the relationships with others in a bigger spectrum at home, in your social circles, at work with your colleagues as well. If you're intentional about it and if you take yourself on this journey, then the quality of your life will just feel different.
Wow, amazing. I loved it. Thank you so much, Alina, for coming here and just pour us with so much wisdom and knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity, Sadia. Thank you so much.
Like it is a lovely conversation with you. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole conversation. I loved it.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Allah Hafiz for now. Now we will be inshallah meeting next Thursday with another guest. So tab tak ke liye take care. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.
Bye bye.